Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, dubious speculation. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. Bitcoin's currently trading just below $29,000. We talked previously about how Bitcoin would likely fade back in here to the 20-week SMA / 21-week EMA or the bull market support band by the August to September timeframe. And what's interesting is we also mentioned that when Bitcoin, or if Bitcoin bounces off the 20-week, we didn't know. I mean, I didn't know that it would. But we said that if Bitcoin bounces off the bull market support band, it would likely lead to the altcoin market back testing its own bull market support band, but showing no real ability to get back above it in a sustained way. And I think we've seen that here. We've seen Bitcoin bounce off the 20-week, but even though Bitcoin bounced quite a bit, you see that the altcoin market can't get back above it. So in terms of trying to figure out when will Bitcoin hold the line or will it not, we do have to remember that there are many previous examples in Q3 of the pre-halving year where Bitcoin does fall below the 20-week SMA. You can see that it happened in 2015, it happened in 2019, and it also, of course, happened in 2011. And one of the reasons that happens is not necessarily crypto related. I think you could make the case that there's some element of the S&P getting a seasonal correction around this time in pre-election years. This is 2023 year-to-date ROI compared to 2019, compared to 2015. Again, a lot of seasonal corrections around this time. Here's 2011 and here's 2007. So a lot of times we get these seasonal corrections in the S&P 500 in August or September of the pre-election year. That then causes Bitcoin to lose its support level of the 20-week SMA in Q3 of the pre-halving year. And if that happens, that can lead to the capitulation of the altcoin market. Remember, it was in Q3 of 2019 where many altcoins found local lows or macro lows on their Bitcoin pair. So I think that's something to look out for. But remember, one of the things we said previously is that the fact that total 3 is still fading here with no real ability to get back above the 20-week SMA shows you why you should not assume that alt season is coming for the altcoin market, right? This was a lot of people were talking about this just a few weeks ago, right? And if you're not with them, you're against them, right? And you have no idea what you're talking about. But we talked about how if the market is so bullish, why is total 3 unable to get back above its 20-week SMA in a sustained way, right? If you look at Bitcoin, it's been above it the entire time. So you have to ask yourself, what happens to the altcoin market if Bitcoin falls below the 20-week SMA? Think about how weak the altcoin market has been, even though Bitcoin has been above the bull market support band for the first, 7 or 8 months of this year. So if Bitcoin were to go below the 20-week SMA and get a sizable correction, then of course that could easily lead to capitulation in the altcoin market. Right? I know this is not necessarily a popular view, but we've been talking about it for a long time, and you can see that total 3 continues to remain stuck in traffic on struggle street. And as you can see, the 50-week SMA has also been sort of knocking total 3 back down more or less every step of the way. We got maybe 1 or 2 weekly closes back above it over here, but ever since then, we've just seen weekly closes below the 50-week moving average for the altcoin market. In terms of going back over to Bitcoin, I'd like to take at least a brief moment to look at the year-to-date ROI of 2023 compared to that average of 2015 and 2019. And the reason we do that is because it has been tracking relatively well. Do note that it comes back, if it does come back down into these levels, you're looking at around a $23,000 Bitcoin, which I think is very much in the cards sometime later this year. So if you do see Bitcoin fall back into that $23,000 level, do know that that is below the 20-week SMA. And it would currently sit from the current price about a 20% drop. You would basically be looking at a 20% drop to see Bitcoin back at 23K. Interestingly enough, this weekly candle back over here in 2019 for Bitcoin was a 20% drop. So just going back into the average of the prior 2 pre-halving years for Bitcoin, going back to these levels is slightly below this level, which we hit, which was around that 24 to 25K level. So going a bit lower puts you at around $23,000. I think that could certainly make sense, especially given where the altcoin market is, the fact that Bitcoin dominance is still low, and the fact that the social risk continues to slowly go down. We talked a little bit about the social risk recently, so I wanted to just bring it back up just for a moment, if we can, just pull the social risk back up, you can see it's currently at 0.168, but it has been putting in lower highs and lower lows for quite some time, sort of signifying that retail are still continuing to capitulate, especially in the altcoin market. And that's one of the reasons why you see the altcoin market still go down. The reason why we talk about the altcoin market in the Bitcoin videos is because the altcoin market actually provides a lot of liquidity into Bitcoin. So by understanding where the altcoin market liquidity is likely going, or the fact that if it's not coming in, that could at least show you the most likely scenario for the direction of Bitcoin USD. So I think we need to be at least aware that liquidity is at least leaving the altcoin market. There is at least some idea of that will be less liquidity to flow into Bitcoin. And of course, going on with the other thesis that the Bitcoin dominance should go up no matter the direction of Bitcoin USD. Part of the thesis is that it goes up with respect to Bitcoin USD going up. Part of the thesis is the dominance going up with respect to Bitcoin USD going down. And remember last cycle, the rally by Bitcoin ultimately topped out around the 51 to 52% dominance level, and the move to 60% was on a Bitcoin USD retrace. So I am still sort of looking at this idea of if Bitcoin does go below the 20-week SMA, I would like to see the dominance continue higher, and that could finally mark the end of the altcoin reckoning. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and again, check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.